Hello gamers, and welcome back to another episode of Solo Spelunking. And it is Sunday evening, and what better way to end the weekend and prepare for the upcoming work week, which will be terrible, by the way, because I got like meetings every day, I think, of the week, sometimes several meetings. So the next week will be a busy week at work, but I want to end this weekend with a nice little solo RPG session, continuing my Star Wars powered by Dragonbane solo campaign or solo adventure. It's not really a campaign, using the Scarlet Heroes solo rules for urban adventures. But before I start, I would like to once again encourage you to check out the episodes of the Round Robin RPG game that a couple of solo gamers are playing together with a shared character and a continuing and evolving story. I think this is pretty fun. And I can't wait for the next episode to be uploaded. And yeah, you can find the past episodes in my community tab and one episode here on my channel. And so please do check this out, because this is a great way to see different people use different systems, different oracles and different setups. And it is low barrier of entry, so this is solo gaming how it really is, and you might get something out of it, you enjoy it, and so please check this out. And and now back to my 2-hour Star Wars session. Before I start, I want to talk a little bit about the logic of the game world, because I was thinking about this and I was like, if you're a wanted fugitive by the Empire and you know that there's someone, as it appears to be or seems to be, hot on your trail, would you stick around or would you try to get the hell out of there? So probably my first thought was, you would probably get the hell out of there. But since there's a little bit of metagaming involved using these Scarlet Hero rules, meaning that you have to accumulate victory points, and if the enemy gets to 10 victory points, the player loses, and if the player gets to 10 victory points, basically he or she beats the adventure. So what I figured is, you might be inclined to leave, but what if you have some important, some vital mission, some task that is very important for the Rebel Alliance, maybe an integral part of a larger scheme. Maybe you need to get a certain piece of information, maybe like a code sequence, or maybe a special item like a decoding device or some sort of encryption device or whatever. So I figured this is what is going on here, and you shouldn't overthink it when you play solo games. You're just basically playing for the fun of it, and of course usually only for yourself, so you don't need to be too thorough when it comes to avoiding plot holes, I think, or at least this is my philosophy, but still things should make sense somewhat. So this is my in-game explanation why my quarry, Elisa Rill, while she is still sticking around in the undercity or underbelly of Nar Shaddaa, even though I'm on her trail, because she's on a vital mission for the Alliance, she needs to complete some important goal. I don't know what it is, and I haven't really wasted any thoughts about it, but this is for me the in-game explanation to basically translate this metagaming rule of the victory points into the story. So please bear with me here that Elisa is still staying on Shaddaa because she's got some important business to do. All right, so when we last left our hero, he was not very lucky. We wanted to play an investigation scene and to infiltrate a location, a junkyard, but we encountered two new models of security drones, and even though we took them out, I was seriously wounded, on the brink of death even, and I was in no condition to press on. So I had to return to my ship for a rest scene, which automatically grants a victory point to the enemy. And so I'm at 3 victory points right now, and the enemy is at 4 victory points because the enemy, she was at 2 and she gained 1, Elisa gained 1 because of my failed scene. And then you have to roll a d10, and if you roll equal or less than the total number of action and investigation scenes so far in the adventure, the enemy gets another victory point. And this is what happened. So Elisa is at 4 victory points, so 1 point ahead of me, and I still have 1 clue, which is a metagaming currency that I need to initiate action scenes. And the good thing about action scenes is that if you are successful, you get 2 victory points. You get the victory point for completing the scene and an additional victory point because it was an action scene. So because I need to get some victory points here, I have decided that I will spend my clue, my metagaming currency, and I already determined that I will be playing an action scene. And since I do not have any further or concrete leads than the junkyard, my course of action will be to, after I have rested, to again head over to the junkyard. Even though I'm pretty sure that there is nobody that I'm looking for there anymore, I figured I might get some information there, maybe out of the surveillance system, or maybe out of the people that work there, or maybe even, I don't know, if the drone debris is still around someplace, maybe I can salvage something and get a clue from that. So it's basically desperation thinking here and talking here, but it's the only concrete lead that I got right now at the moment. So I will be heading over there. And I already determined that this will be action scene number 4, which states I'll have to face the foe's best warrior, or one of the foe's best warriors, or the foe himself or herself, if this is the final climatic scene and the foe is also fit for combat. And this scene will take place at the junkyard. So yeah, so we start a new day basically after I have taken a rest. Let's say it is 10 a.m. in the morning, or early day. It's 10 a.m. and I head over again to the junkyard. So Telrac heads to the junkyard. So I bought a new weapon, but I did this already last session. I'm completely rested, so my hit points are back to 12. My willpower is back to 11. I can take round and stretch rests, and I head over there using a repulsor or speeder taxi. I head over to the Junkyard. And yeah, of course, I wanted to head also to the Junkyard because as I prepared for the scene, I already created a nice image. Look at that. So and I really wanted to show off this image basically because I think it is really nice. It would be even nicer if this would be some sort of urban underground here instead of what this, it looks like sand, but we're still on Nar Shaddaa, so this is in this industrial district that I described in the last session. So imagine an industrial district with smoking furnaces or exhaust pipes, and think Blade Runner, think was it, I don't know, episode 2 from the prequels where Count Dooku went to this industrial district in Coruscant where he met with Sidious. So this, in this district where there are a lot of warehouses and a lot of junkyards and waste disposal sites and manufacturing industry, there's also this junkyard, and this is where I'm headed. And because I think now that there won't be anybody there still, I'll tell the taxi driver to also drop me off close to the junkyard. So the scale does not really fit, so actually I would need a small little token to make it fit, and I was thinking about using these little cubes here to track the position on the map, but I think we could go still with the miniatures. So just bear in mind, this is not to scale, this is to show the relative position on this junkyard. Yeah, and we will be eyeballing it basically. So this is where this scene will take place. Let me slide this here into the middle so that you can see it. So I tell the cab driver to drop me off, and I'll head for the junkyard, and I will be coming from, you see this little way here between those buildings or sheds. I will be approaching from there, and I will be using again my one-page mythic oracle, because even though I already determined what kind of scene I'm going to play, I will still flesh it out with some oracle rolls or some other events that might might cause me to go completely off script. But this is the good thing, I'm not writing a story, I'm not going by a script, I'm playing. So the first thing I want to know, so I enter, and through a gate that maybe even, or maybe Elisa, maybe she is still here, maybe whatever she needed to do at this junkyard. And if you remember the last session or the session before that, this correspondence that let me get it out again, that she needed some sort of item. Let's see, or I located the item we need, but I need help extracting it so that I do not ruin it. So this is also why I figure she's on some important mission for the maybe rebels or whatever, because she needs an important item that maybe she can only get on Nar Shaddaa, or several items, and maybe this extracting process, maybe it takes longer, maybe it takes a few hours, maybe it is a very delicate task. So there's still a remote possibility that she might be there still, but I'll give it very low odds. I'll give it 15%. So it is a 15%, so I'm not going by the mythic table right now. Very unlikely, so Oh wait, yes. So it's nearly impossible. Is 15%. Yeah. So I go by mythic, and I'll give it 15%. So it is nearly impossible that she is still there, but you never know. So is she still there? It is nearly impossible. 84. No, that is even an exceptional no, and this fits with what I had in mind. So she's not there, but one of her henchmen, because she figured, or she assumed that maybe I would return, that maybe I come back, and she decided it is time to take steps to prevent me from getting closer to her and causing her trouble. So as I enter this junkyard, and I have already determined that the warrior that she has employed, or that is trying to attack me, is a Trandoshan mercenary. So this is a common miniature from I don't know which set, but this is a Trandoshan mercenary, and he is hired to ambush me and to probably or hopefully take me out. So he is actually hiding here behind this shed so that he can have an overview of the area as I approach from here, because I want to head over here. This is like this the shed where the person that runs this junkyard has his or her office, and where there might be the surveillance feed going in, and maybe that I can talk to. And if you get like parts from a junkyard, this is where you pay, just like if you go to a junkyard for an automobile part. So this would be basically what this is. So I want to head over there to this shed. And now the question is, while I'm heading over there, do I spot this hidden mercenary here? Of course, I am somewhat alert because, yeah, I already encountered opposition, and I'm a bounty hunter. So I will make a roll. I will make a... usually this would be vigilance, which is... or do I have... No, I do have perception. Yeah, so vigilance is like if you're unprepared, but I do have perception, which is based on cunning. So it's a 10. So I'm going to roll. $11. Of course, I miss by 1 point. So I am oblivious to the presence of this mercenary. So the question is, does he attack right away, or does he maybe wait until I come out of the building again? Let's roll. So even, he waits. Odd, he attacks. Even is he waits. It is odd, so 17. So he will immediately attack. So I didn't spot him. So I already hate how this, or where this might be going, but I do have my willpower basically recharged, so I can do some dodging. So and I made these improvised or makeshift neutral initiative cards out of old 4th edition power cards. I will give myself, for the first round, I'll give myself the last number. Where is it? Or I only did 8, I think. Yeah, because that's enough. So I'll deal myself the 8 and the 7, because I get 2 cards, because I got army of 1. So, and it doesn't really matter. So this is how you do ambushes in Dragonbane, that the ambushed party depending on how much gets the last initiative card. So I don't really need to draw one for him. I just do it anyways, so that I keep track of who already acted. So he will go before me because because he ambushed me. So put this here so that you can see it on the camera. So I'm heading over there as he took aim from behind this corner, and while I'm moving towards this shed, into the shed, he goes pew 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 with his blaster rifle. It's an E11, the Stormtrooper issue blaster rifle, and I already prepared some stats that I want to share with you. Just 1 second here. Where are the stats? Oh yeah, here. So he has 12 hit points, a damage reduction of 2 because wearing light combat armor, a 14 skill. Remember, this is the foe's best warrior, or one of the best warriors. And I decided, usually like in Dragonbane, you do like 2d6 or 2d8 or 2d4 or 1 points of damage usually with those ranged weapons, like my blaster does 2d6. But so I didn't want to make it 2d6, but also not 2d8. So I settled for a nice mixture of 1d8 and 1d6. So this is the damage he deals. So let's see if he hits. So, and I'll roll the damage d6 and d8 with it. So and of course he would hit, dealing 10 points possibly of damage, but so that's but I do have my fast footwork ability, which allows me to dodge without using one of my actions, and I want to keep my actions to return the fire. So I'm using 3 points of willpower, so my willpower goes down to 8, and hopefully I'm using my coordination agility based skill, which is a rank of 12, and yeah, I'm using fast footwork to get out of the way at the last moment. Please, I got a 60% chance. Yes! Alright, so a 7. So he goes pew pew, and basically my reflexes are fast, so I just instinctively sidestep, pew, and those blaster bolts, they pew, hit this little pod over here, this little vehicle, pew, sparks fly, and he will not move because he is in cover there. He's got a comfortable position, and that was his action. So lucky for me, I got this ability, and now it's my turn. 7 and 8, and I can also move. All right, so I do want to first attack, shoot, but because he's ducked behind cover, this is why he set it up this way, I will have to attack with a Bane. And I would deal 2d6 plus 1d4 points of damage, but with a Bane, meaning I have to take the higher one. So this is my attack at 7 with a Bane. And my skill is 12. Because of the Bane, I got a 9 at the 17. So because of my Bane, pew, I fail. And now I'm going to move. And I'm going to move back behind here into cover. So, but still, I will shoot around the corner. He will shoot around the corner. So we're basically both in cover now, exchanging fire. So my second shot, still also with a Bane, but at least he will get a Bane too, unless he moves. Ah, look at this. Ah, damn it. 6 and 18. So, of course, because of the Bane, pew, pew, so poof, sparks fly. The blaster bolts, they hit the metal as the first round of combat is over, and now we draw initiative normally. So let me shuffle these real quick. All right, and I'll deal 1 card to him. 2, not a good sign. And I got 4 and 8. All right, so he'll go first. All right, so now the thing is, he will attack with the Bane now, and I will attack with the Bane now. Question is, will he? Yeah, he will. First, he will be exchanging his position. He will head over here. So he will run over here and duck behind this, whatever this is, this metal object here, so that he has a better angle. So he dashes over here just for cinematic purposes. As he dashes, pew, 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 I fire off some shots, but I miss, just for cinematic purposes. So this was his movement. So he takes cover behind this object, which means he's got a slightly better angle now. So he does not attack with the Bane, but he gets, in this case, it's a penalty. He gets a +2 penalty to his roll. So he has to add +2 to his roll, but still he's got to roll below or equal to his skill. So a bonus here actually is bad. It's like a penalty. So he'll attack with a +2 penalty because of his better angle. But 15 +2 is 17, so he misses. Pew! So I do not need to dodge. That's great. So I will return the fire, but I also say that this piece of cover that he has is not as good as if he would be ducked behind this wall. So for me it's the same thing. I also do not attack with the Bane, but I have to add +2. So this is 2d6 and a d4, and I'm using the blue die. And pew, I return fire. You gotta be kidding me. I roll a demon, a demon it's called here, like a critical failure. So, all right, so that was my 4 action. All right, so because I rolled a critical failure, I do not want to roll on any fumble tables. I just say that my weapon, my power cell short circuits, my weapon is damaged, so that I will need my second action this round to slap in a new power cell. So I'm not going to track power cells. This is just for cinematic purposes. So I cluck, damn it, and then slap a new power pack. But then we are already back at the initiative order, and because I rolled a demon, I get to make a check mark, but I already got a check mark here, ranged light, because I think I rolled a critical success. So whenever you roll a critical success or failure, a demon or a dragon, you get to put a check mark next to the skill, and then you can, at the end of the session or adventure, make advancement rolls. But I will make advancement rolls at the end of the adventure, so not between sessions, because this is like one adventure. All right, so reshuffle. All right, and he gets a 7, and I get 4 and 8. All right, so this is good because I get to go before him, then he gets to go, and then I'll get to go again. So we are both in cover. So I'll go pew, +2. I have to add +2 with my freshly slapped in power cartridge. 12 12 plus 2 is 14. So if I didn't have to add, I would have hit, but would have, could have, I don't hit. So pew, but very close. So I'm getting more accurate. Pew, I'm eyeballing it better, and pew, the blaster bolt hits this object right here. And that was my number 4 initiative slot. So he wants to retaliate using D8, D6. Also has to add +2. Oh yeah, and I'm wearing my complete set of armor now. So with the helmet. And of course he hits. 2 plus 2 is 4 for 8 points of damage, which is reduced by my armor of 3 to 5 points of damage. So I'm at 7 hit points. I'm going down from 12 to 7. Hits me in the shoulder, but thankfully my armor absorbed the brunt of the impact of the force. So again, so not the force, but the energy. So, yeah, +2, bam. 19, god damn it. So at least not a demon, but still not enough. Damn. All right, so the question is, so my speed is 12 meters. So I'm assuming that'll be probably 12 meters, but you never know. What is this? Maybe like 6, yeah. So I think that'll be 12 meters. So do I try to get up close and personal, or do I want to stay in cover? But all right, so this is metagaming knowledge now, because I know the numbers and the mechanics. I think if you're in a firefight, if you do not have to, you would not change your position or give it up. You would if you get a better angle, but also could still maintain some sort of cover, I guess, some sort of advantage. But I mean, if I run over here and so I'll probably have a clear shot, but I will also not have any cover. So and I'm already hit, so no, I think it would be reasonable if you just stay put and yeah, and aim better, I guess. All right, so reshuffle initiative. All right, so the Trandoshan, he gets a 2, of course he gets a 2. And I get a 5 and a 1. All right, so if I'm very lucky now, 1 and 5, I get to go first. I just need to hit. All right, so again, I changed the dice. You know, it's role player suspicion. So I'm using the green die now. The green D20, and I attack pew, with +2 to the roll, which is bad in this case. Yes! Look, I rolled a 4, but my damage, I rolled a 1 on the D4, a 1 on the D6, and a 3. So I hit for whooping 5 points of damage, and he also is wearing some light armor under his white outfit. So 5, and he's got a damage reduction of 2, which is a whoopee 3 points of damage. So he's at 9 hit points from his initial 12. And basically, even though I was lucky, I wasted my initiative 1 slot. Ha ha! And he laughs. Ha! Is that all you got? And just spits on the ground. Ha! Ridiculous. Pathetic. And he attacks. With +2. Ah! So he hits, and he would deal, so he rolls a 5 and he would deal 11 points of damage. But I still want to get my other shot in. So again, I'm using my willpower. Using 3 points of willpower. Willpower goes down to 5. Using, once again, my fast footwork to get out of the way. So please. So I got a 12. So no penalty here because I'm just dodging. And I got a 12. 60% chance to negate the damage. And that would be really helpful. Please. Yes! 11. 11. So, pew, barely. I can feel the heat, yeah, on my skin of the blaster bolt who zizzles by, pew, and hits this object behind me. So your 11, you can stick those 11 points up your butt. Your scaly reptilian butt. So that was his action. And now I get to go again, this time again with +2 Bane, if you want to call it that, penalty. +2 penalty. And maybe, if I'm lucky, no, I'm not lucky. 16. So, just to get this straight, I mean, I got a blaster skill of 12. So +2 means I got to roll a 10. So 50-50 chance. And so far, I usually get 2 shots per combat round. And all I managed to do was to hit once so far for 3 points of damage with a 50-50 chance. So much for odds and coincidence and consistency. But if I'm lucky, I get to go again before he gets to go. So he's laughing at me. Ha! Who taught you how to shoot? Ha ha! Every credit they charged you was a credit too much. Ha ha ha! And he laughs at me while I am reshuffling my initiative cards. Alright, so he gets the 6. Alright, so I got a good chance. And I get a 3 and a 5. Yes, so I get to go twice before him. And those of you wondering why I get 2 cards, I got this heroic ability Army of 1, which is from the Dragonbane solo rules, which means because I'm a solo hero, I get 2 actions in a round. And I get to go first. So I think I will again change the die, taking the blue d20 again. Yes, I hit. 6 + 2 is 8. But once again, for 7 points, he's got a damage reduction of 2, but he can't dodge, so that is 5. So he's at 4 hit points. So he's not laughing now. So while he's laughing, ha ha, who taught you how to shoot? Bam! I'll hit him again, and that was my... And now if I'm lucky, I can take him out. Alright, so please, again, blue die. Let's go. Yes! 9 + 2 is 11. So, but only 3, 4, 6 points. Ah, but that's great. 6 points minus 2 is exactly 4 points that I need. So my so my second shot takes him out. So he just wanted to mock me again, and as he peeks his scaly head out, I hit him with a blaster bolt straight between the eyes. And he goes down. All right, so all right, so now since this was a shootout, I guess So this is still Shaddaa. So I was thinking about, and I'm just explaining this because point of these videos is also to showcase my thought process behind solo play. I was thinking about it now, if maybe I get some trouble from the guy or woman, let's determine. So even is female. It's odd, so it's a male. So from the whatever, let's say, what kind of alien is it? It's an Ugnaught. All right, that's an Ugnaught. It's fitting because of the junkyard. So the guy who runs this junkyard, he's an Ugnaught. I have spoken, but so I was wondering if maybe he would give me some trouble now because we're shooting here, but I figured he was paid off. So he was paid off to turn a blind eye, to not get involved, and after all, this is Shaddaa, so nobody cares. So he got his credits, he minds his own business, otherwise I would have rolled now. But actually I have to admit, I also want to cut myself a break here now, because I have been very unlucky up to this point, and this is not completely unreasonable, it makes sense. So I figured, all right, so I do not get any trouble. So yeah, I head over there and search the body, and I will get some money. He has some money. He was paid, but not in, so he got 1d6 times 100 credits, just to, so that's good. So I'm searching him. He's got 500 credits, which I can add to my money. I had my money in here too, so I was at 700 credits, and now I'm at 1,000. Oh, so he's got those 500 that I needed to spend last session on my blaster. And I see I already got from the bouncer. I still have a security key card from the bouncer. I haven't figured out where this belongs to. So what else does he have? He, of course, has a comlink, a personal data pad, which I take because maybe then I find some clues there. So personal data pad from Merc at Junkyard. So this is for me, that I know where I got this from, and so this is why I put there from bouncer, from Merc at Junkyard, because there will be probably some clues on there, but I'll have to decrypt it. It's probably encrypted, but this is all for the dice to decide. So I'm just writing down what I get. So I got some money, I got his personal data pad, a comlink, that might also be useful. Just put down personal comlink from Trendo, I know. So this will be to give me some clues for what I'm going to do next. So yeah, I search him, and I also find a data card, which is for whatever reason not encrypted. So that this is a little bit of metagaming, so that I have to, so that I got something to go off by, you know, for the next scene. So what I'm going to roll is, I'm going to roll on these maze or Wombrat's, excuse me, Wombrat's roll tables for locations, planet-side locations, and this will be then a clue, not a clue in a metagaming sense, because for these clues I need an investigation scene. This was an action scene, but just so that I know where I probably could go next. So alright, so the blue die is the cell, and the green the entry. So the blue die is the cell 4, entry 1. Ooh, a gang hideout. This is nice. Gang hideout. All right, so this gang hideout will be, let's see, will be a cantina. And let's roll the name. Again, this time blue is the cell. Cell 2, entry 3. Cell 2, entry 3 would be lounge. All right, so that is probably the second part. And once again, blue is the cell. Cell 4, entry 6. Cell 4, entry 6. Oh, the dark side. We had this again. So that again, so the dark side lounge. The dark side lounge. All right. So I find a message in a data pad. It says, if you're done with your task, take some pictures as proof, and then meet me for your payment in the dark side lounge. But be careful, this place can be a little rough. The what gang was it? How would let's see, a cool gang name. Alright, so the Starlight Pirates. Let's call them Starlight Pirates. The Starlight Pirates, they use this place as a hideout. So don't try to get into trouble, or try to not get into trouble. So if you're done, meet me at the Dark Side Lounge, and like I said, be careful of the Starlight Pirates. And it's again signed with E. All right, so let's do some bookkeeping. Let's do some bookkeeping. So I count this as a successful scene, obviously. So action scene at the junkyard. Telrac heads to the junkyard. All right, so Telrac defeats Trendo Merc in firefight. So recovers personal comlink and a data pad. And finds a message. Finds a message signed with E that points to a cantina named Dark Side Lounge. And in parentheses, I put for me basically gang hideout of Starlight Pirates. All right, so this is the journaling recap for me. And now the fun part, victory points. All right, but this was an action scene, so as further you go in the adventure with action and investigation scenes, it automatically, becomes more intense or tensens, because the enemy usually also gets the victory points because of the roll you have to make. But first, my victory point. So I got 1 victory point because I was successful, and another victory point because it was an action scene. So I'm at victory points 5. I gained 2 victory points. So I put down victory points 5. And the enemy, and so far the enemy had 4. And now we have to roll. And now I got to count scenes again. This is why I underline only the investigation and action scenes, so that I know what I have to count. So we have investigation scene 1, 2, 3, action scene, 4, 5, and this was 6. So if I roll 1, 2, 6 on a d10, the enemy will get a victory point as well, otherwise not. So 1, 2, 6, please not. Please a 7. A 3. Of course, the enemy gets also a victory point, because while I was fighting this guy, Elisa made progress with her plan, and I am at 0 clues. Clues 0, because I spent my 1 clue. I got a clue now where to proceed, but this is... So these are metagaming clues, and the other clues are in-game story clues, if you want. So, yes. All right, but at least it's even now. 5 to 5. And I think now the next scene will be a conflict scene, because if you do a conflict scene and you are successful, you reduce the enemy's victory points by 1. And if you do a conflict scene, also you do not have to roll if the enemy gains a victory point, only if you use investigation or action scenes. But then again, I could also play investigation scene to try to crack, or maybe, so this is all for next session. I'll try to decipher the items that I got. So like a sort of like an in-between scene. Yeah, I think I will do that. And if I'm successful, maybe, yeah, maybe this leads to some interesting developments. All right, so I will again end this session here. I hope you enjoyed watching as much as I enjoyed playing. And if you did enjoy this video and you like what you see on my channel, please do subscribe, because then you will help me on my journey to unlimited YouTube money and fame. All right, so, and once again, as always, stay safe, stay healthy, have a wonderful remaining Sunday evening, and till next video, bye bye.